Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments asking, was going through all the college years and pharmacy school years and accumulating over $250,000 of student debt just for pharmacy school, and I had about maybe $17,000 in undergraduate college payments that my parents took care of, fortunately. So if you kind of add that all up, it's a little bit over $300,000 that I had going to the University Pacific, which is a 5-year program out of high school where you graduate as a pharmacist with a doctorate of pharmacy degree in 5 years. So was spending $300,000 worth it to go to college, to go to pharmacy school, and to become a pharmacist? And I think at a high level, I think my answer is yes. So what's nice about being a pharmacist is the starting salary that you have, I think back in 2013 when I graduated, was around $120,000. And, over time, due to inflation, due to the cost of living going up, the salary wages did jump up. So the average pharmacist now makes around, in California at least, about $160,000 on average. And, I'm in pharmacy management, so I'm making over, $200,000. So for me, I kind of felt like the income was very nice, right? You can't complain, and you're kind of guaranteed a job. So what I liked about becoming a pharmacist was you can see the path ahead of you. So I knew that, okay, if I did 2 years of undergraduate and made it through that, I would get into the 3-year pharmacy school program. And 3 years after that, I'd be a pharmacist at 23 years old, making, 6 figures. And it was just nice being placed on track and knowing what to do and then knowing how much I would make, right? Like, even though, looking back, I'm like, I used to think $100,000 was a lot of money, and it was, but, now in today's market with inflation and the cost of goods and the housing prices, that's kind of it's not considered a lot of money anymore. It's maybe considered more middle class or lower middle class now at this point, and especially if you live in, California. So for me, I think it was worth it because of working this pharmacist job. I was able to save a lot of money. Obviously I could afford to rent a room. I, was fortunate to live at home for a little bit, and I was able to just save a lot of money, right? Because I kept my expenses low, my income kept on going up over time. So, for me, because I was able to save that money, I was able to have margin to learn how to invest, right? So I learned how to invest in the index funds. I learned how to invest in real estate. I learned how to invest in multifamily real estate, and all that compounded over the past 11 years. So for me, if you're going to school to go to a profession where you're going to make a decent amount of money as W-2, I think it's totally worth it. Like if you're becoming a nurse, if you're becoming a dentist, doctor, software engineer, pharmacist, whatever that is. So if you're going to college or graduate school and you're going to go into a profession that makes a decent W-2 income, I think it's totally worth it, right? Because I paid $300,000 over 5 years. And now my income is close to $300,000 as a pharmacist. So I think my return on investment was worth it. And I was able to pay off my student loans pretty fast because I focused on paying that fast. So, I have a mentorship talking about student debt. I have some videos talking about student debt, but pretty much I just, increased my income, lowered my expenses as low as possible, took that savings to make extra principal payments to pay it off faster. That's really it at a high level. So for me, I think it's worth it. I know a lot of students where, they go to a private school, right? Maybe they go to Harvard, maybe they go to USC, maybe they go to what's that one in Malibu? But whatever those schools are, and they do a major where, the job prospects afterwards aren't going to be that great, right? Maybe they pursued a major where, maybe it's a passion, but when you come out, your job prospects are very limited. So if you do, unfortunately, a lot of liberal arts majors nowadays are very popular, but when you graduate, your job prospects are very limited, right? For me, I knew I was going to be a pharmacist. Go to pharmacy school to become a pharmacist. You go to medical school, you become a doctor. You go to dental school, you become a dentist. You go to nursing school, you become a nurse. You know exactly how much you're going to make. It's pretty black and white, right? But if let's say you were to do a liberal arts degree, so let's say psychology, art history, Spanish language, when you graduate, your job prospects are very much more limited and or tangentially related to your major, right? So it's like, to me, I don't think it'd be worth it if I graduated, let's say USC, with a let's say art history degree. I don't know why I'm picking on art history, but you graduated from USC with art history degree, you're $150,000 in student debt, but your job prospects are going to be much more limited, right? Your income may not be in the six figures. It may be a little bit below, or you may be working a different job, or you may be working a job that's completely unrelated to your major, right? And that's kind of the downside. Like in my parents' generation, it's like the baby boomers, just getting any college degree was good enough, right? You can get any college degree, didn't matter what. You come out and you can get job prospects. But I think in today's market, given how competitive it is, you have to go into a major that you know you're gonna make money afterwards, right? Like a lot, and I came from the Bay Area, so a lot of people did computer science, and you become a software engineer, and they make six figures. You can become a data scientist, graduate from that, make six figures, right? So it's very clear, and this is maybe the practical Asianness inside of me, is like, just do a major that you know is gonna pan out to a decent job, right? Because if you do certain majors, like you said, they're cool. Like I did a philosophy, class, which was cool, right, as an elective. But like coming out, your job prospects are very limited, right? Maybe you'll be a professor, maybe you will, become a consultant. I have no idea, right? But the job prospects is a lot more limited in that aspect. So in that case, it's not worth it to me. Like at that point. Honestly, I think vocational trades will come back, especially for guys, like becoming a plumber, electrician, septic tank cleaner. I think these jobs are gonna come back, and you can make six figures doing these jobs, right? Like electricians, I pay $150 an hour. Plumbers, I pay $100 an hour, and people always need these services, right? Because if you own a house and your plumbing goes down, you always need a plumber. If you have electrical issue, you need an electrician. These are timeless jobs that don't go away. So, if you're somebody who is good with their hands and you like to fix things, it's a perfect vocation to go into, and you won't rack up as much debt, and you're coming out and it's more guaranteed and secured. So for me, that's kind of the mindset that I have, right? Like if you know the outcome of your job or your major or your education, then it's totally worth it, because college, it's a once in a lifetime experience, especially freshman year living in a dorm. Very unique experience, right? Like never will experience that again, but super unique. But like I said, if your major is kind of undecided, where I see a lot of people struggle is they flip-flop majors a lot. Like you start off at this major, then you transfer to this major, then you go to this major, and you did 5-6 majors, and you end up being in college for 6 to 7 years. And you're just wasting more time and wasting more money. And maybe that's intentional. Maybe some people like to delay working by getting more education, right? I've seen that too, where I had a lot of pharmacy school students. They would drop out of pharmacy school and then do computer science, or they would try to go in dental school. And then fast forward to today, I have no idea what they're doing, right? Because they just were jumping around so much, and were indecisive, and end up costing time, end up costing money, and there's opportunity cost, right? Like to me, I graduated a little bit early, which was nice because I could make money sooner. And don't get me wrong, I'm not extremely passionate about pharmacy, but for me, I just viewed pharmacy as a vehicle for me to make money so that I can invest in what I'm passionate in, right? So I became passionate in investing, learning how to build wealth, like through index funds, through real estate. And then once I've built wealth through index funds and real estate, now I'm diving into my next passion of education. I love to teach, right? I love to teach and educate people and teach people how to build wealth and help develop their mindset and coach people. So that's my next thing that I'm going into, right? So I feel like once you have money, it unlocks your next level. And fortunately, most people start off as a W-2. 95% of the world should be a W-2 worker, and you should focus on building up your income as a W-2 worker. Hate to say that. Only 5% of the people are cut out to be entrepreneurs, right? Like entrepreneurs, you have to, get everything yourself. You have to be a go-getter. You have to have initiative. You can't procrastinate, right? If you have all those, you're not guaranteed any money, but in a W-2, you can be all those traits and still be guaranteed a paycheck every 2 weeks. I mean, we all know what we're talking about, where you see that one lazy worker at your job who does nothing, but they still collect the paycheck, right? Like they're just a warm body. But you can't do that if you're an entrepreneur. You cannot just be a warm body. You have to be proactive, right? So I think for the majority of the world, W-2 makes sense. So pick a major that gives you something guaranteed, right? And I know a lot of people who do IT, they do cybersecurity. You do a certification for cybersecurity, you can make decent money, right? Like I said, it doesn't have to be your passion, but can it make you money that you can save, that you can then invest into a passion, or to build wealth another way so that you could retire from your job and then pursue your passion, right? So things take a lot of time, takes a lot of patience, right? Like, I hate to say it, a lot of, even like social media now is really popular with the younger generation, where doing Twitch stream, social media, but it's hard, right? Everyone's doing it, and you have to be consistent and work hard at it. And a lot of times it's a lot of grind, and then one video just ticks off and you build up. But like you're easily replaceable unless you're continuously improving yourself, right? If your only value is maybe you're attractive looking, or maybe you're basically, yeah, you're just attractive looking, that's the only value you give, eventually you're going to be replaced by someone else who is attractive as well, or people get bored of you. So really, to kind of summarize all this, I think it was worth it for me because I pursued pharmacy school. But for those who you're going to college and you don't have a clear major, or you're undecided, or you're flip-flopping a lot, I think it's not worth it. Just like you said, just pick a profession. It doesn't have to be something you're super passionate about, but then you can have side hobbies, side hustles that you are passionate about on the side, right? And build that out over time. So anyways, if you're looking to buy some multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out my mentorship program. If you want to join my school community of like-minded multifamily investors, check out that link down below as well. Let me know what questions you have. Love to hear your questions. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.